Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Iklil Shela Yaniva. I'm here will tell you about verb. The first is definition of verb. Verb is the part of speech that show the meaning of the activity and the condition or state. Verb usually used to describe an action, state, or occurrence, and forming the main part of the predicate of a sentence, such as here, become, happen. Verb also words that show an action, occurrence, or state of being exist. Almost every sentence requires a verb. The basic form of verb is known as its infinitive. The second is the function of verb. The first one, ordinary verb. Ordinary verb is the original verb. Ordinary verb must be in every sentence. When copied with an auxiliary verb, the position of the verb is always behind. The example is, good education bring the bright future. The second one is auxiliary verb. Is an auxiliary verb. This verb serves to help complete the meaning of other verbs because this verb is a complement to its position is before the ordinary verb and after the object. The example is, I'm learning verb material now. The third is verbs are classified into three. That is transitive verb, a verb that requires an object. The word transitive sounds pretty complex, but in reality, identifying a transitive verb is not that difficult. Transitive verbs simply express action and are followed by a direct object. The example is, Alex sent a postcard from Argentina, and then she left the keys on the table. My father took me to the movies for my birthday. And then intransitive verb. Intransitive verb is a verb that doesn't need an object. This verb also express an action but are not followed by a direct object. Intransitive verbs include arrive, die, live, live, and yell to name a few. The example is, the train arrived at 3 p.m. Sorry, but I have to leave. Susan lives on the east side of the city. The last is auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb that is placed before the main verb. An auxiliary verb helps the main full verb and is also called a helping verb. With auxiliary verb, you can write sentences in different tenses, moods, or voices. Auxiliary verbs are be, do, have, will, shall, would, should, can, could, may, might, must, ought, and etc. The example is, I think I should study harder to master English. I am having a cup of tea. You have been practicing hard. Now you can see this the example too. And then types of verb. There is regular verb and irregular verb. Regular verb is regular verb with a certain pattern. For verb 2 and verb 3, usually just add t or ed. And irregular verb with a certain pattern. And then after this, you can see the example of regular verb and irregular verb. This is the example of regular verb. And this is the example of irregular verb. Use of verb. Verb 1, use present tense. Verb 2, use past tense. Verb 3, past participle, use future tense. Verb followed by gerund. Gerund is a verb plus the ing form which functions as a noun. And here is word of verb followed by gerund. You can see there. And this is the example. He avoid answering my question. He admits stealing the money. She advised waiting until tomorrow. And the last, thank you for your attention. Nice to meet you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.